Hello to our current Hebron High School 10th and 11th graders, as well as our current Hebron 9th grade campus students. This is Dr. Fields from the counseling office at Hebron High School, welcoming you to course verification and this process. This process will take us through this week and will end on the afternoon of May the 12th. Course verification is an opportunity for you as a student to review your updated course requests for next school year one more time and to make any requests to adjust those before the end of the school year. After course verification is complete this Friday, you should view that as your last chance to make any requests or adjustments to your courses for next school year. At that point, changes to course requests will be shut down and your counselors will begin the long process of trying to get all of those requests into your schedule for next year between those top requests and your alternates. I want to highlight several things about this process. It's really just 3 steps. There's one to review your requests. The second would be to confirm or change. And then 3 is to submit your responses so that we can make sure we're all on the same page. Every student and parent has been sent an email this morning to your school accounts where you can actually see all the information that I'm going over today, as well as some helpful links, including the link to the survey to complete this process. What you'll need to do is go through this process through the student Skyward account. So even parents will need to look at course requests through the student's account. Once you get in there, if you click on the schedule button, you will see a link that says to review your requests for 2023-2024 at Hebron High School. When you click on that and view your requests, I want to emphasize a few important things. First of all, the list of requests that you see, this is not your schedule for next year. We're not even close to completing that part yet. Also, the classes that you see are in no particular order. We really just want to make sure that what you are requesting is in there. You may see that some of the classes you requested back in January or February or March when we were going through an initial request and review process, you may see that some of those classes are not there. Every year, we have certain classes that end up not being offered because not enough students requested those classes. Also, every year we have certain classes that more students request the class than we can possibly accommodate, and so we need to use student alternate requests to put them in other things. If you are curious about which classes ended up not being offered or which classes are currently full, all of those classes are listed in the email that I sent to you that you can also review when this email is completed. I have a few also important notes for students that are in some specific groups or interested in specific classes. So that would be students that are interested in Tech Center or performance group classes, athletics, and dual credit. So let's go through some important reminders one by one. For students that have requested a Tech Center class, if you see the Tech Center class listed in your request, that means that you are currently on pace to be placed into that course. If you requested a Tech Center class and don't see that listed, then that means that you have been placed on a waiting list for that class. And your counselor will be watching that waiting list and seeing if they can get you into that class, but it may take through the summer, it may even take through the fall. A space may not even open up for you until the spring of 2024, but we will keep an eye on it. So please make a note of that as you're reviewing your requests. If you are someone that is trying to add a Tech Center class to your request right now, it is very likely that those programs are full and you will be added onto a wait list. As I always say, you're either on a wait list or you're not, and so even if you have any interest in a class, it's better to put yourself on a wait list if you're interested. Next, for performing arts groups, things like theater, band, orchestra, and choir, we know that you have a lengthy audition process that you may have already completed or that you are still completing as the school year ends and you go into next school year. We are in communication with your directors about those lists, and so we are working with them to update requests as we get them. The most important thing for you to see right now would be that you have those courses in your requests. So for example, if you're interested in being in choir, you should have choir in your requests. If you did request something and you do not see that request in there, it's worth you consulting with your director to see if something happened or if you have been previously removed from a program or if you did not make that request initially as you thought you did. That would be something that you would want to put in your adjustments when we get to that part of this presentation. Next up is athletics. So similar to the performing arts groups, athletics has its own tryout process, some of which you're going through, some of which you'll go through into the summer months or even into the winter. So if you've requested athletics, you should see those in your requests. And typically that comes up as two parts. There's a fall and a spring section of those sports. If you requested an athletics course but don't see that on your schedule, then that could mean that a coach requested to have you removed or not placed in the program. That could be for a variety of reasons. And so if there is an athletics course that you want to be added to, you'll need to speak to that coach first, and then that coach would confirm with us that you can be added to that group and which group to add to. So that's an important note. I would like to discuss a few important details about dual credit course requests for next year. The application, registration, and payment process for dual credit courses has been ongoing since February during course selection, with meetings with parents, meetings with students, individual support sessions, and individual meetings with students. The payment deadline for summer 23 and fall 23 dual credit classes was May the 1st. If you did not complete registration and payment by that deadline, then your course requests have been switched back to a Hebron High School version of those courses. If you had initially indicated during course selection that you wanted to take a dual credit class in the spring of 2024 at Hebron High School, those requests are still listed in your Skyward. The registration and payment process for those spring 2024 classes will take place later in the fall. We are not taking any new registration for dual credit from this point forward. I want to make another point of emphasis regarding AP and honors courses as you go through this course verification process. Please note that if you are leaving or adding honors or AP classes to your course requests for next school year, you are going to be expected to stay in those classes at the beginning of the year. There will not be changing from AP to honors or honors to on-level classes at the start of the year. Students who begin the year in those classes will be expected to stay in those courses and not change out of them until the end of the first 9 weeks. So please keep this in mind as you're considering all of your options and the adjustments that you're making. Once you've taken a moment to review your requests, the next part of this process would be to confirm or change your requests, and you're going to do that through a link to a Google form that is also found in the email that you've been sent. The form itself will likely take you only a couple of minutes to complete. You'll see a screenshot of what that looks like here. The most important thing you need to know as a student is that you must be logged into your student Google account in order to access this form. When you complete the form, it'll just ask you for your name and your ID number. And then it's going to ask you to either confirm your request and say everything in Skyward looks good, or if you want to request that something be changed. If you are requesting for things to be changed, you'll be asked to put in what you want to have dropped and then what you want to have added back in to your requests. Please, please, please make sure of a few things. First, if you are requesting to have a class added into your request, please make sure that that class is already not on the list of classes that is not being offered or the list of classes that's being full, or that is already full. That is not going to help you at all in terms of adjusting things. Second, we want to make sure that whatever classes, the number of credits you request to drop, you also request an equal number of periods or credits to be added. Things have to be equal and things have to be balanced so that we can make sure at the end of this process you have a full 8 credits worth of requests that are listed. Finally, when you get done with filling out that form, you must remember to click the submit button or else we will not receive your responses to that form. Also, remember the deadline for this form is going to be on Friday, May the 21st, or May 12th. That's this Friday at 4:30 p.m. And you can only submit this form one time. So if you want to take some time to consult with your family, consult with your teachers, if you're wondering about level of placement, you're welcome to do that. Make sure that when you fill it out, make sure you submit it and do it only once. We appreciate your teamwork with this process and getting course requests adjusted as well as possible before we begin to put schedules together. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to reach out to your school counselor, but also make sure that you do take time to look over the email, all of the details in there, as well as all of the links in there. That should help you answer a lot of initial questions to begin with. Thanks a lot for your teamwork with this. We are looking forward to a strong end of the school year. Good luck.